The Daniel Andrews Victorian Government announced their rent relief package today. After long anticipation from the real estate industry, I can tell you, if you can see the bags under my eyes. Premier Daniel Andrews announced a 6-month ban on evictions and rent increases for both commercial and residential tenants, which is in line with the federal announcements earlier this month, along with a much-needed tax relief for landlords. These measures will take effect from the 29th of March and will be in place for the next 6 months. The new laws are expected to be passed by the Victorian Parliament shortly. To encourage landlords to negotiate with their tenants, the government will provide $420 million in land tax relief. This means that if a landlord provides tenants who are impacted by COVID-19 hardship with rent relief, that landlord may be eligible for a 25% discount on their land tax, while any remaining land tax can be deferred until March 2021. Remember though, this is just a deferment of the tax and will need to be paid back in the future. Under the new laws, tenants will not be able to stop paying rent, but they will be entitled to apply to leave the tenancy if they want to for financial hardship without paying fees for breaking the lease, or stay and negotiate a rent reduction with the landlord. Consumer Affairs Victoria have recommended that with working out the rent reduction, the landlord should consider what they can afford, the help available from the government, and any other support that might be available, such as mortgage relief. The government will also create an $80 million rental assistance fund for renters facing hardship due to COVID-19. To be eligible, renters will need to have registered their revised agreement with Consumer Affairs Victoria or gone through mediation, have less than $5,000 savings, and still be paying at least 30% of their income in rent. If a landlord and tenant cannot come to an agreement regarding a rent reduction, tenants can engage in a dispute resolution process with their landlord and Consumer Affairs Victoria Dispute Resolution Service. CAV will act as a referee to ensure a fair agreement can be reached. To insist in covering any shortfall in rent, tenants will then be able to apply to receive rent support of up to $2,000. This will be paid directly to the agent or landlord. Once an agreement is reached, then this should always be documented in writing. The rent will be frozen for 6 months until the 26th of September 2020 and cannot be increased during that time. At Domain & Co, we have a strong system in place for hardship applications, which is being headed up by one of our directors. So far, we have found around 5% of our tenants are suffering from a legitimate hardship due to COVID-19. We expect this to rise to around 10% in line with the expected unemployment rate. Consumer Affairs Victoria are still establishing the process to support tenants and landlords, so stay tuned. I will keep you updated as the news comes to hand. I'm also available to chat with you anytime if you would like to discuss your circumstance and need assistance as well.